Judaism is fascinated with numbers. In Hebrew, actually, there are no separate numbers. Letters are numbers, and every number has significance. The number 1 is obvious. We talk about there is one God. 2, we have 2 tablets. 2 is duality. 3 is an established pattern. Happens when there's something that's repeated 3 times. Or 3 is a unifying of 2 different elements, fusing them into a 3rd element. 4 are the different stages and development of an idea of a relationship, as the Kabbalists explain. 5 represent the 5 levels of the soul. 6 are the 6 days of the week, but also 6 directions. You have north, south, east, west, and you have up and down. And 7, of course, is the climax. 7 represents the different directions, the different dimensions of space and time, plus the core, the divine core that animates and unifies all these 6 other levels. And that's what the Shabbat is, the Sabbath. It's the climax. It's the ultimate level within the system of creation. But then we have the number 8. And that's the title of this week's Torah portion. Vayihi b'yom hashmini. It happened on the 8th day. What happened? This was when the Mishkan, the tabernacle, the portable sanctuary that the Jews built in the desert after the Exodus and after they received the Torah at Mount Sinai, that temple was prepared. There was initiation for 7 days, but when was it dedicated? On the 8th day. And this 8th day is considered to be a very special day. The number 8 is a unique number. And there are other things in Judaism that also have the number 8. For example, we have the 8th day of a child's birth, a boy's birth, and you have circumcision. You have the Hanukkah festival of 8 days. The holiday of Sukkot has 8 days, and there are a few other 8s in Judaism. What is the difference between 8 and 7? If 7 is the climax and represents the ultimate level of spiritual development, which is what the Sabbath is, then what is the number 8? And we're taught in the mystical teachings of Judaism and Kabbalah and Hasidic thought that 8 represents transcending the system, transcending the order of creation, even transcending the Sabbath. That's why circumcision overrides the Sabbath, because the number 8 represents a transcendent relationship with God, one that even surpasses the climax, the highest form of a finite relationship. Now, we know that when Mashiach comes, the number 8 will be more prominent. King David had a harp that had 7 strands, we're told. It's not even sure that it was a harp, but it was a string instrument of 7. But the Messianic harp, the one that Mashiach will use, will have 8 strands. Why is that going to be so different? Because the Messianic age will represent this transcendent level, one that goes beyond the system, the structure of 7. But there's still going to be a difference, because there are 2 ways at arriving at the number 8. One is you start off at 1 and you build up to 7, and when you reach the climax, the highest level within the system, you then transcend the system. But why would you transcend the system? Because logic itself dictates, the system itself dictates that there must be something beyond the system that brought it into existence. In that sense, the number 8 is still connected to the number 7. But then there's the number 8 where it transcends the system entirely, that it's something that comes from above, downward. You don't have to count to 7 to get to 8. The 8 there stands independently and permeates the 7. That is what will happen in the Messianic age, that the transcendent divine dimension will be truly transcendent, but it will permeate our consciousness so that the 8 will become unified with the 7.